What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very interesting transfer news video, because in this video we will take a look at how Liverpool could afford to sign players like Kai Havertz, who Liverpool have been heavily linked with, and Liverpool have to move quick because things are heating up around Kai Havertz, because Real Madrid apparently made a bid, Man United are also interested in Kai Havertz, but apparently Chelsea are also in the running now, because Chelsea got £130 million coming in from the Eden Hazard and Alvaro Morata transfer deals that they did, and because they couldn't spend that money, apparently Chelsea want to go absolute ham in the transfer window, and respect to them. I mean, they already signed Hakim Ziyech, they are maybe in the process of signing Timo Werner, and Kai Havertz is next on Liverpool and Chelsea's and many other big clubs' transfer lists. And apparently, according to the Express newspaper, Man United and Liverpool face a decision about Kai Havertz, because Real Madrid are making moves to sign him apparently, but other sources are also saying that Real Madrid will not make a transfer in this transfer window because of the pandemic and because of football being suspended. And by the way, La Liga starts back up on Thursday with the Sevilla derby, the Sevilla Betis match, which I'm really looking forward to. And according to the German publication Bild, Real Madrid have submitted a bid of 80 million euros, which is around 71 million pounds. And also the report claims that Real Madrid would be willing to allow Kai Havertz to spend next season on loan at Leverkusen before moving to Madrid in 2021. And Kai Havertz's value is only going to go up after this season, so I think it's pretty smart, whoever gets Kai Havertz in the summer transfer window, that any club who signs Kai Havertz are getting a very good deal, because next season the transfer fee of Kai Havertz might be even 25-50% more than right now. And Gab Marcotti, a journalist who is working in the UK and who is working for ESPN, said that Liverpool are not in as bad of a financial situation as the Liverpool owners want you to believe so. Liverpool, if they want to, they can spend some money in the transfer window, but maybe they are very cautious because we don't know when the football fans will be allowed back in the stadium. I mean, the Spanish league are already talking about potentially letting football fans into stadiums on a reduced capacity as early as next month, but at the moment in the Premier League there are no talks about this. But Liverpool recorded a profit of £29 million last season, and also they recorded a whopping £101 million in profit the year before. So that's combined £130 million in the last 2 years. And yes, these numbers are for the last 2 seasons. This season, of course, the numbers aren't in yet, but Liverpool did make a £28 million profit over the last 2 transfer windows, and also their imminent first title guarantees that they will earn more money from the TV revenues than any other Premier League side at the moment. And yes, maybe Liverpool budgeted to get further in the Champions League. We got knocked out in the last 16 against Atletico Madrid, but still Liverpool have money coming in. We just don't know when the football fans will be allowed back in the stadiums, when their usual revenue streams, all of them, will be back up and running. And that's why maybe the Liverpool owners told Jurgen Klopp that you can't spend any money until we know how the full financial situation develops over the summer. And yes, Liverpool extended a number of contracts and increased the wages of some of their key players also, but Liverpool's matchday income was around 84 million last season, and even assuming that no fans are allowed back in the Premier League until March, which is like the worst case scenario, that's only a 15% hit in revenue for Liverpool overall, so it's not a huge percentage. And this is what I have a little bit of a hard time comprehending. Why are Liverpool sitting on their hands when we are in such a good position? And even if we signed Werner for 50 million, or even if we signed Kai Havertz for 60 million, these players would be absolute key players in the foreseeable future for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Because like next season, Mane, Salah, Firmino all will be 28 or 29 years old. So they have a good 2-3 years at the top of their careers. maybe even less so, and Werner would be first in line to play after those front three players, so he wouldn't be just a bench player. And also Kai Havertz would be a major, massive contender to actually be a regular starter at Liverpool. And right now, Liverpool's options in the attacking department are Divock Origi, Takumi Minamino and possibly Harry Wilson, but I think Harry Wilson will be either sold or loaned out again. And you can't help but feel that this order that Jurgen Klopp can't sign any players right now came from Fanwave Sports Group, from FSG. And based on the numbers available, unless there's something that we don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense that Liverpool are so hardly tightening the purse strings, because I'm sure that we could have made the Timo Werner transfer and still survived financially, because I mean every other club bar Chelsea are hit with massive financial difficulties in the Premier League. And will we allow Chelsea to scoop up all these great talented players? I mean, that would be a huge advantage for Chelsea if they signed Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, possibly even Ben Chilwell. That would be a massive transfer window for Chelsea. And who knows, maybe with those players, they could be in the title race. I think the title race will be a lot closer next year, obviously, because Liverpool might not sign any players, and also because Chelsea will be stronger, Man United will be stronger. I'm sure Man United are looking at signing an attacking player as well, and they will have Bruno Fernandes, potentially Paul Pogba, Rashford, fully fit, Martial. So they have a lot of young, very talented players as well. And Kai Havertz is ready to take the next big step in his career, and I want him to sign for Liverpool, but at the moment it looks like Jurgen Klopp is just not allowed to sign anybody in the summer transfer window. But I think once the Premier League resumes and once we know that the financial situation clears up, Liverpool will have money to spend. It's just I hope that the owners will give it to Jurgen Klopp. And Kai Havertz is having a back-to-back amazing seasons. Last season he scored 20 goals. This season he already scored 15 goals in a similar amount of games, and I think he will add to his goal tally in the coming weeks and months of the Bundesliga. And Havertz said this: "I'm ready to take a big step in my career. I like challenges. For me, this also includes moving abroad. Leverkusen are a great club. I feel good here. I've always said that. But of course, I want to take the next step in my career at some point. That's my ambition. And some players like to stay in Germany and play for Bayern Munich. But I'm of the belief that if you are good enough, you need to try yourself out." And Kai Havertz is a big fan of the Premier League. So I think that either one of Chelsea, Man United or Liverpool, whoever puts in a serious offer for Kai Havertz, he will say yes. And Dietmar Hamann, the former Liverpool midfielder and the pundit, said to Sky Sports, "I think a lot of Premier League clubs will be interested in Kai Havertz. He's a terrific player. There's not many better around at the moment. If you look at Manchester United, it's very clear they need new personnel going forward, and I think he would improve pretty much every team. Liverpool are a bit of a different team with the way they set up and play, but besides that, I think he improves every team." Before the break, people were talking about three figures, £100+ million for Kai Havertz. If that's a price any club is prepared to pay in this summer, I'm not sure, but the likelihood is he will leave Leverkusen and take on another challenge in the summer. And Leverkusen's chief executive spoke out about Kai Havertz, and he said this: "If Havertz goes to Bayern, it will be even worse for the Bundesliga's potential title race next season. We don't know yet what will happen to Kai Havertz. We know that all the great clubs from Germany and Europe are after him, and that he has the ability to play anywhere. He's a fantastic player, and for many years Bayern have always been behind the young German talents, but we have to wait. There are many factors that influence this. His future is not decided at all yet, and it's in his hands. I can only say that I love Kai Havertz and that I like to see him play. I would like to see him as long as possible in a Bayer Leverkusen shirt. Obviously, I have no preferences when it comes to other teams, whether he goes to Bayern Munich or abroad. He will be one of the great dominators of the game in the next 10 years. That's a big prediction from the Leverkusen chief executive, who sees Kai Havertz week in, week out, and he says that he will be one of the most dominant midfielders of the next 10 years. And yes, the transfer market has changed, although in a year or two everything will be the same again in terms of top players. Havertz has a contract until 2022, and we are calm. We speak permanently with him, his family and his representative, so we will see. He's a very complete player. He has also shown that he's a good finisher with his head and both feet. He's fast to play as a striker, but he's also great number 10 with creativity and timing. He can also play on the wing, not as a winger, but cutting inside, and yes, being able to score goals pays very well. And he also said, yes, it would be better for the Bundesliga if there were alternative teams winning the Bundesliga, because Bayern Munich are on the verge of winning 8 consecutive Bundesliga titles. The positive is that this year has been a little more competitive in terms of the title race, although it seems that Bayern will prevail in the end. And yes, it would be nice to keep growing, to compete with Bayern, who win too frequently, and Leverkusen want to cement themselves as a regular Champions League team, because that's how you can invest regularly into the team, even if you lose sometimes some of your best players. And Jurgen Klopp is adamant that Adam Lallana will remain at Liverpool for the rest of the season, so we are extending the contract of Adam Lallana with just a few months, because he wants Lallana to win the title at Liverpool and not just leave the club in the middle of the season when it resumes. And Paul Joyce said this in the Times. Jurgen Klopp has made it clear he wants Lallana, who has been integral during the manager's time at Anfield, to see through the club's bid for the first league title since 1990. And yes, Lallana is leaving at the end of his contract, but I think this is a great gesture from Jurgen Klopp to keep Lallana just a few more months and reward him for all his time by being part of the Liverpool team that finally wins the title after 30 years. And Jurgen Klopp also spoke out on Mario Götze, and Jurgen Klopp actually praised Götze and said that his former star player needs to leave Borussia Dortmund to rediscover himself again in a way in his career. This is what he said: everyone in the business knew that Götze's contract was expiring. If things have not been settled a year in advance, there are some indications that your time at the club is coming to an end. Mario will probably need a few games in a row. He needs a club that gives him the feeling that he doesn't have to change the world in every game. Instead, Götze has to just play normally and play again. Then I will think we will see the old Mario Götze again. That is obviously not possible in Dortmund at the moment, with the quality they have in offensive areas. It makes total sense that Mario Götze leaves the club. I couldn't wish him more luck, to be honest. I think he's an exceptional player and also an exceptional character, and I like him very much and wish him all the best. And I just love that Jurgen Klopp has this relationship, this great relationship, even with his former players. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And German football expert Jan-Åge Fjørtoft is saying that Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp is not happy with the owners not letting him spend any money and letting Chelsea scoop up Timo Werner and letting Timo Werner join Chelsea when he had his dream move was Liverpool. He wanted to come to Liverpool. He very openly and honestly flirted with Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. He, in numerous interviews, praised Jurgen Klopp as the best coach in the world, said that Liverpool are the best team in the world. He would be perfectly fit into this team and he needs to improve to get into the Liverpool starting lineup, but he was ready to improve and work hard, and he thought he was good enough to play for Liverpool. So after that, now the journalist, the German football expert Jan-Åge Fjørtoft is saying that Jurgen Klopp wanted this player and Timo Werner would have been a perfect fit for Liverpool, and he's not happy that he is on his way to Chelsea. And he also said, I respect Robbie Fowler as a great goal scorer and he will know a good striker when he sees one, but I don't think he will have seen enough of Timo Werner. Because just to put it into context, Robbie Fowler said that Timo Werner is not on the same level as Liverpool's front three and he isn't good enough yet to play for Liverpool. And the journalist disagrees. He says, I think the main thing for Liverpool fans is Jurgen Klopp was desperate to get Timo Werner and he couldn't get him because of the financial reasons, because of the pandemic, the football being suspended, fans not being allowed back into stadiums, potentially for months in the Premier League. And no, I don't agree with Robbie Fowler at all. And Robbie Fowler previously said in his Sunday Mirror column, I'm not a big fan of Timo Werner. I really realize he's a talented player. He has moments of real brilliance in matches that underline his quality, but I stand by this. Is Werner up to the standard of Liverpool's current front three? Not for me. And it's a little bit harsh, but he says this. It makes it seem like he's Marco van Basten, a world-class player who would walk into any side. For the life of me, I don't know why. I've watched him a fair few times, and there are things about his game I like and admire, but does he influence games consistently enough? Not for me. Does he match up to the players you are signing him to challenge and replace? Not at Liverpool. Maybe at Chelsea he does. But you can't just play with the same starting lineup in all the games. I mean, is Gabriel Jesus as good as Sergio Aguero? No, of course not. But he is still a great striker who, when Aguero has to be rested or he's injured or suspended, Gabriel Jesus can come into Man City side and bang in goals. And that's what Timo Werner's role would be next season. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Liverpool transfer news video. It was a lot of fun to make. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.